I'm reading for Monica from Chihuahua and a story about Arthur, Amazon adventurer. Rebel dogs, heroic tales of Trusty Hounds, Kimberlie Hamilton. Adventure racing is a brutal test of endurance with four-person teams running, cycling and kayaking hundreds of miles in some of the hottest places on the earth. Races must endure extreme temperatures, exhaustion and lack of sleep, all while staying within 100 meters, 300 to 28 feet of their teammates. At the 2014 World Championships, the Swedish team was midway through a grueling 700-kilometer, 430-mile race through the Amazon jungle. They had stopped for a meal break when team member Michael Lidnort noticed a scruffy stray dog lurking nearby. Michael tossed him a few meatballs and the dog wolfed them down. Later, as the team struggled to run slippery jungle trails, they realized the dog was following them. He kept up as they slogged through the knee-deep mud and across swollen rivers. The dog seemed determined to join them, so they named him Arthur in honor of Sweden's king. The final stage of the race was a 14-hour surfers through the teacher's swamps. It would be absurd to make a dog slowing them down, but as they pulled away from shore, they saw Arthur padding towards them. Michael hauled him into his kayak and the team carried on, finishing in 12th place. Michael couldn't bear to leave Arthur behind, so he took him back to Sweden. Arthur was fully embraced life in his new home, romping in snow and swimming in icy lakes. But he hasn't entirely forgotten the hardships of his past life as a stray. He buries any leftovers in his food bowl, just to make sure he never goes hungry again. Born c. 2012, Ecuador, Sweden.
Все?
Sweden. Ні, ще оце включити. Дві сторінки.
Trailblazers with tails. Dogs like Arthur have a nose for adventure. Here are some others that left their paw prints in the new frontiers. Buffy is the only dog to visit both the North and South Poles. The Jack Russell Terrier was part of the 3-year around-the-world expedition that started in 1979. Dogs are no longer relevant in Antarctica, so his Guinness World Record will stand forever. But it was the first dog to cross America by automobile in 1903. The Bull Terrier and his human sidekick made the 63-day journey in a car with no windscreen on the roof, so Bud wore goggles to keep the bugs and dust out of his eyes. What a style must have been! Gabby crossed paths with the ultramarathon running during a 250-kilometer, 155-mile race across China's Gobi Desert. The man named the pup Gobi after she stayed with him for every step of the way, sharing his limited food and water. He lost the race, but gained a forever friend. Leonico was a yellow moth that accompanied Spanish explorer and conquistador Vasco Nuñez de Balboa across the steamy Isthmus of Panama in 1513. He was strong and fierce and stirred around in gold collar bestowed upon him by his master. Only was abandoned as a puppy outside a New York State Post Office in 1888. He started following the mailbags, accompanying them across the USA and overseas by wagon, train and steamship. No train he ever rode on one is accident, making him a postal legend. Red Dog gained a name for traveling around the Australian outback in the 1970s. The friendly Australian Kelpie often hitched rides with strangers, happy to go whenever they were going. One time when a newbie bus driver refused to let him on board, all the passengers got off in protest. Rupi was rescued from the street of India and became the first dog to reach Mount Everest base camp in the Himalayas. He and a team of climbers endured storms, mudslides, and a yak attack before reaching base camp, where Rupi saw snow for the first time. Seaman was part of the Lewis and Clark expedition that mapped and explored part of America from 1804 to 1806. It was a risky journey, and the black Newfoundland was credited with saving lives. He once chased after buffalo that would have trampled the man as they slept.
Все? Це на